Hey everyone, welcome back to Automation. So today is an exciting day because I'm going to be starting something that has not happened for a long time. It is time for another Automotiveflux Games, called the AutoFlux Games for short. This is AutoFlux Games 2022. So what's going to be happening over the course of the next 10 weeks, I think, because I'm going to be doing one video every week for this series, is we're going to be making 5 cars and then we're going to be doing 5 challenges. Now I've already got the cars planned, I already have the challenges planned, but there will still be some surprises along the way. For now though, the next 5 weeks, I'm going to be making 5 unique cars. And the goal here is to have them all be okay, but every single one of them has their own little quirk, and I think that's the fun part of these challenges. It's not meant to be fair, it's not meant to be balanced, it's all about just having fun. Before we go any further though, I just wanted to thank the automation devs for adding this delete unused engines button. I just saw that today. It's brilliant, okay? I've been asking for this for years. Man, oh man, why did I not see that before? So while we're having this discussion about the start of the games, I figure I may as well introduce you to our first competitor, and that is going to be a 1978 bodied in 1980 pickup truck that has been modernized significantly, because I've got some ideas for this one. We'll just kind of start off with the basic stuff, but I'm going to do double wishbone on the front and the back because we're going to make this thing as low as it can possibly go. Time for a new engine. In terms of the drivetrain, honestly, I didn't really think about this too much. Let's make it a little bit funky. Let's go inline 6 cast. Maybe a 5-liter inline 6 would be cool. It's been a long time since I made something in automation, and I feel like that inexperience is going to show here. But we're going for a square engine, 5 liters, push rods, all cast. It's not going to be very powerful. It's not going to rev very high, but it does not matter for this. No turbos or anything crazy like that, but we will go for, carburetor. Why not? Let's just make it for fun. Maybe a 2-barrel carb, single, and mid-performance. There you go. So without much work, the car is making, or truck in this case, is making 180 horsepower at 300 newton meters of torque. That's not bad. Very low RPM. Yeah, I think we can do better. Looking at the octane, I put it up to 95, so we're kind of pretty darn close to where we should be. If I just left it as is, it wouldn't even be that bad of an engine, which is a good start. Okay, a little bit of tweaking. The number I had in my head for this was 225, and we're 225.6 at 5,000 RPM. We could go up a little bit more, I think. Yeah, just a little bit more in terms of the limit, but that's not bad. I think it's going to be decent, considering the engine and considering the age. Once again, these cars are not going to be super balanced. That's sort of the fun of it, again, is that they're imbalanced and therefore flawed. Flawed cars are my specialty. So I'm going for the pickup truck variant of this. We could also do an SUV, but I feel like this is a little bit more interesting for this specific aesthetic that I'm going for. Let's skip ahead though. Rear wheel drive is where it's at. Lazy auto. Let's make it a 4-speed because I don't want to feel physical pain every time I drive it. Alright, what do you think? So the game doesn't like it very much because the front tires have blown out, and we will be making some modifications in order for that to be not as bad as it currently is, but the entire point of this is that it's going to be a ridiculous lowrider, and we're also going to get into the advanced settings because that's where the fun begins, and really lower things down a lot. But that'll be after we finish with the rest of the build. My goal here is to make it scrape the ground and be essentially entirely useless. Okay, so some sacrifices are going to have to be made here because in the name of function, I guess, I need to make a few changes. I would like it to actually be able to drive, so yeah, I'm going to have to lower down the rim size, at least in terms of this part of things. Once we actually get to the advanced stuff, we can change it up a little bit. And for the first time ever, well, okay, maybe not ever, but for the first time in a long time, I'm going to be putting pearl on this car because it just really feels like that's what it needs. Some really awful pearl color, like perhaps this. That is Saints Row purple if I've ever seen it, my goodness. I actually don't hate it that much. I'm going to turn up the flake. Oh man, that's shiny. Okay, so I'm going to go for a green color because I feel like that's a pretty good match for this car. I've also gone for like a green blue pearl, which is interesting. It's not like super obvious, but it is a nice subtle pearl, and it hopefully won't look too bad in BeamNG, so that's why I've gone there. Moving on to the trim, I think we'd be wrong to not either color match this or make it full on chrome. I mean, I don't like the look, but it matches the aesthetic, that's for sure. I think I'm going to have to take that front bumper into account, though. It's got to be chrome, too. There we go. Okay, so there's the final paint look. It's different, that's for darn sure. I decided to keep the bed a black plastic color, but everything else is dolled up a little bit because, again, this is supposed to be a lowrider of some kind. Although obviously my interpretation of such a vehicle. Now let's make things worse because I'm going to lower down the car in a more impractical way, specifically using the advanced car aesthetic options, which probably will mess it up thoroughly in BeamNG, but that's just how I like it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the ride heights so they are significantly lower. I basically want to see this almost completely on the ground, and that's very close to such a level. I'm wondering about potentially having it with a significant rake, but then, you know, this also exists, so I guess we can work with that. Now I have some options here while we have it super low. I could bring the wheels in so they don't stick out, or we could do something with over fenders. I'm not 100% on what I'm going to do with that yet. However, we have some options. Making the wheels stick out significantly is kind of fun, but what about just bringing them in all the way and then doing even more with the advanced stuff? So this is what it looks like with the wheels completely pulled in, and it's very different. Not something that I've done before, but I don't hate it. I think what I gotta do though is get rid of this body morphing if I'm gonna do that, because otherwise it just sticks out way too much. There we go, that's a little bit better. At least you can see the wheels. Good luck turning though, my goodness. So you can see the wheels are sticking out in the hood, which is fun. They're sticking into the engine bay. There's a lot of room in there, so that's not a big deal. And in the back, we're gonna have to fill up the bed a little bit. Or we could just raise it up actually, which looks even cooler, so glad I noticed that option. Okay, I think we have our aesthetic. Nothing else really needs to be done here. We kind of just need, well, those rims are going to be big enough. I don't want to make them too big because I want it to actually move. I thought I was going to be able to go bigger, but I think that's it. Okay, I've done something I didn't know you could do, and that is I made the tire tread green. So this is a St. Patrick's Day vehicle at this point, but I don't hate it. I also made the back tires a lot bigger, and also they look horrible. Questionable decisions are being made here, but you know what? It's all in the name of... oh man, run. Not fun, run. I decided to go for some Corvette style exhaust. Don't tell them that it's actually just a single exhaust, but it's fine. I don't have any dog tape in this because I haven't got any mods, so I'm just gonna have to get creative with some vents here, and then creative with the rest of this body as well, because it's time to do some design. Okay, so one of the themes I'm going to be keeping on this truck is things being simplistic. So I've got the, well, lights, if you can call them that, down here. Those are going to be the brake lights right next to the exhaust, so you know you can't actually see them if you're driving anything that has any height at all, but that's fine. It looks cool, that's all that really matters. The bed we should definitely do something with. I feel like, man, there must be some air tanks or something in here that we can use. We got fuel tanks, but air tanks. We got to show off the suspension. Although this thing is kind of riding static, as you'll soon see. Okay, so here's the front end that I've got so far. Basically, the lights are protruding because and also the turn signals are also protruding. The grille is kind of something that fits in there fairly nicely, and I think overall it's kind of just a nice muted look. Again, I want this thing to seem like it's been chopped pretty much. I guess this part hasn't. Maybe I can get that down. Unfortunately, I cannot chop the cab, so my life is essentially over, but that's not a big deal. The aesthetic is still there. Okay, the thing that sucks the most without having mods is that I don't have any good decals. I really wanted to put some stuff in the window, but I don't have much at the moment, so we're gonna keep it plain and simple, I guess. That might be it. Alright, let's see about these windows. I kind of forgot something important here, and that is you can't have a truck like this without having some wildly unnecessary hood bumps, and that's exactly what I'm going to be putting right here. They're not needed, but man are they cool. Okay, interior's in. I just went real simple, just door cards, seats, and a dashboard, but it definitely looks the part, and I actually just kept the stock brown, although I should probably change that. It's not going to load well in BeamNG. Okay, so that's a blue interior now, which is arguably worse than the brown. This thing is looking pretty mint, actually. I think it's ready to take its maiden voyage in BeamNG. I'm concerned that the scraping is going to be too much for it and that the green tires aren't going to load in properly, but you know, we just got to roll with the punches here. Let's see what it looks like in-game. Hold up, mildly cancel that. I have not finished the rest of the car yet. Give me a minute here. Okay, there you go. Final stats, 1660 kilos, pretty darn heavy, 225 horsepower, pretty lazy engine, 5-liter inline 6. Yeah, it's going to be lazy in BeamNG, so get ready for that. And yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to pop any sick wheelies or anything fun, but as long as it drives, I'll be happy. Okay, so here's what the snakebite looks like in BeamNG, and the coloring is coming in a lot better these days, which I'm very pleased about. You can see the wheels are indeed green still, which is excellent, and our one exhaust pipe is working overtime because the other one is permanently on a vacation. Now, let's try it out to see if it actually drives, because I haven't done that yet. I literally just spawned it into the grid map. You can see that it does kind of lay on the ground naturally. This is not a car that I would advise that you drive in real life because the frame is literally on the ground, which is perfect for my purposes. However, it is seemingly doing all right. It is making noise, but it does have mufflers, so it's deathly quiet, which is not a bad thing. Interestingly, you can see the wheels popping through the bed when I turn around a corner of any kind, and obviously the wheels are popping through the side of the front there, the front fenders I should say, because yeah, they they are confined to a small space and there's nothing we can really do about it other than remake the car, which is not gonna happen. Okay, I'm actually very, very impressed that it works, and I'm very pleased with this. It is not fast, but it does drive, and it seems to be fairly consistent as well. The green wheels, again, they really pull it all together. So a little bit more information about what's to come, just to keep your appetite ready for it, because it's going to be a long time in the making, and I think it'll be worth the wait, mostly because we need to make all these cars first. That's the real delay. However, I have a lot more weird ideas coming up. This was just a taste of what's to come. I know that some of the ones coming up will be even more interesting. And the challenges themselves are ones that I came up with in like 5 minutes, but honestly I've been thinking about this for years, and I didn't want to do it and waste the concept, so they should be some fun things. I'm also hoping to see if we can get some kind of sponsor for this, but that isn't the case for this video. This one is actually sponsored by my website. If you go on there, you can buy a Bugo sticker. That helps support the channel and support the series, and yeah, I would appreciate it as well. When it comes to the snakebite, as this thing is so affectionately called, I feel like everything is going well. It's going too well. This is a good start to the cars in this series, and I feel like it's pretty much all downhill from here. So tune in next week when the next car shall be created. And also stay tuned as well for some other upcoming events on my channel. Be sure to join my Discord. That is the best place to find new events and things that are going to pop up. We've got some partnerships on the way and hopefully some cool stuff in the works. A lot of it is kind of just on hold at the moment, but you know, it'll happen eventually. And with that, I just wanted to say thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check out the next one in the series once it comes out, and also subscribe and like if you want to do so. You don't have to, but it would be appreciated. I'll see you guys again in the next one. Okay, first I'm going to rocket this thing off of this ramp here because that is what it was made for. and we're gonna crash down in slow motion because again, that's what this game was made for. This is what I live for. Let's see it bend. Oh, yeah, it's actually a bit stronger than I thought it was, but nothing can compete against a big crash like that. My goodness. I just want to take a second to thank those who have chosen to support this channel, specifically the advanced supporters. We have Overlord, QT Bear, Terry Williams, J. Pope, Davis Heister, The German Dude, Mickey K1, Sleep64, SynLab, Jared Gregg, Goofy Plays, Badger, and Phoenix Shark. Thank you everyone for your support. I appreciate you guys a lot. Man, oh man, it's been an interesting last couple weeks. I haven't been giving you guys shoutouts as I should be, but now that we're back in automation stuff, I feel like it's the right time. Anyway guys, see you again soon, and yeah.